Welcome back, Cowboys Nation, and thanks once again for tuning into the channel where we break down everything Dallas Cowboys, from roster shifts and depth chart battles to minicamp standouts and preseason surprises. Today's video is all about the updated Dallas Cowboys 53-man roster projection following the conclusion of mandatory minicamp. Now, this is where things start getting real. After weeks of speculation, film study, and coaching evaluations, we're starting to get a clearer picture of what this team might actually look like when they suit up for Week 1. And trust me, there are some surprises you won't want to miss. From unexpected risers to veterans hanging on by a thread, this updated projection is packed with insight that could shake up your expectations for the 2025 season. Let's kick things off with the quarterback room, because even though Dak Prescott remains entrenched as the starter, the conversation doesn't end there. After minicamp, it became even more evident that the Cowboys are planning to keep 3 quarterbacks on the final roster. Dak, of course, leads the group, but all eyes were on Trey Lance, who showed improved command of the offense, quicker processing, and increased confidence throwing outside the numbers. While Cooper Rush is still the more trusted veteran backup, the team clearly wants to see what they have in Lance, and he did just enough to stay in the mix. If the Cowboys believe Lance can be groomed as a future starter or long-term backup, there's no way they let him walk, even if he's not game-ready just yet. Now let's move to running backs, and here's where things start getting spicy. Tony Pollard is gone, and that leaves a massive vacuum in the backfield. The current frontrunner to lead the running back room appears to be Rico Dowdle, who continues to impress coaches with his decisiveness and burst through the hole. But perhaps the biggest surprise of minicamp was undrafted rookie Peat, who turned heads with his speed, vision, and ability to catch passes out of the backfield. TreVeyon Henderson, the rookie from Ohio State, is also making a strong case and is almost a lock at this point based on his high ceiling and the investment the team made to bring him in. Malik Davis rounds out the group as a reliable rotational option. That means Deuce Vaughn, while still a fan favorite, may be on the outside looking in unless he can carve out a serious role on special teams during training camp. Moving on to wide receivers, CeeDee Lamb remains the alpha. There's no question about that. His chemistry with Dak Prescott is as strong as ever, and his presence in the offense is irreplaceable. Brandon Cooks continues to serve as a valuable vertical threat and locker room leader. But minicamp shined a light on a few other names making waves. Jalen Tolbert has arguably been one of the biggest risers of the offseason. His route running has tightened, his hands have been reliable, and coaches believe he's ready for a true WR3 role. Elsewhere, rookie Ryan Flournoy flashed big play potential, and KaVontae Turpin's special teams value still keeps him roster safe. Dennis Houston and Jalen Brooks are battling for that final spot, but based on minicamp reps, Brooks edges it out at least for now. Tight end is one of the more stable rooms on the roster. Jake Ferguson has emerged as the clear T1. He's stronger, more confident in his routes, and continues to grow as a blocker. Luke Schoonmaker has also had a solid offseason, looking more comfortable and finally healthy after a rookie year that didn't go as planned. Peyton Hendershot rounds out the trio, though he's fighting off several challengers. His familiarity with the offense and athletic upside help him maintain the edge. A wild card here is rookie Brevin Spanford, who's had some flashes, especially as a red zone target. But unless someone gets hurt, he's likely a practice squad stash this year. When we pivot to the offensive line, things start getting more complicated. Tyron Smith's departure has left a notable void at left tackle, but Tyler Smith has transitioned there beautifully, bringing stability to Dak's blind side. Tyler Baiadas is gone, so Brock Hoffman has stepped up at center and has impressed with his communication and strength. Zach Martin is, of course, still the gold standard at guard, while T.J. Bass is quietly locking down the left guard spot. Terrence Steele anchors the right tackle position. Backups like Asim Richards, Matt Waletzko, and rookie tackle Nathan Thomas are competing fiercely for swing tackle duties. Chuma Edoga and Alec Lindstrom are still in the mix as utility backups, but a lot will ride on the performance in training camp and the preseason. For now, the Cowboys are projected to keep 9 offensive linemen, with versatility being the key trait among the backups. Shifting over to the defensive side of the ball, let's begin with the defensive line, a unit that is absolutely loaded with talent and depth. Micah Parsons is officially being labeled as an edge rusher, and he looks unstoppable. Whether lined up on the left or right, his explosiveness is unmatched. Alongside him, DeMarcus Lawrence continues to be a dependable force, especially in setting the edge against the run. Sam Williams and Dorrance Armstrong provide terrific depth and rotation options at defensive end, while rookie Marshawn Kneeland is showing early flashes of power and technique. At defensive tackle, Osa Odigizwa continues to grow into a true interior disruptor. Motzi Smith's offseason transformation, dropping weight and improving his agility, has not gone unnoticed, and he looks poised for a second-year breakout. Neville Gallimore and Carl Davis round out the rotation, though Davis is on the bubble and could lose out to younger, more versatile players if he doesn't flash soon. At linebacker, things are interesting. Leighton Vander Esch's future remains in question due to lingering injury issues, which opens the door for second-year standout DeMarvion Overshown, who's now fully healthy and looking explosive. Damone Clark has taken command of the Mike role, showing solid instincts and tackling ability. Eric Kendricks, the veteran addition, brings experience and leadership and is likely to see significant snaps in rotation and situational alignments. Rookie Maris Liufau has made a case for himself as a special teams demon and high upside depth piece. The Cowboys are projected to keep 5 linebackers, with Devondre Sweat also in the mix, but likely starting on the practice squad or being activated mid-season depending on injuries. The secondary, arguably the most competitive unit, is full of players making serious statements during minicamp. At cornerback, Trayvon Diggs returns as the C-bone, and he's been looking sharp after recovering from injury. Darren Bland, last year's breakout star, continues to impress with his ball-hawking ability. Jordan Lewis is holding on to the nickel corner spot, but rookie Kalen Carson is pushing hard, and it wouldn't be shocking to see him earn more snaps as the season progresses. Nahshon Wright and Eric Scott Jr. are both in the mix for the final spots, but their inconsistency in camp could cost them. Instead, someone like rookie Josh DeBerry could sneak in thanks to his versatility and special teams prowess. At safety, it's still one of the most talented groups in the league. Donovan Wilson is flying all over the field, Jaron Kearse brings size and flexibility, and Malik Hooker remains the anchor on the back end. Israel Mukumu continues to be that hybrid corner safety chess piece, and he's looking more polished with every rep. The Cowboys might also keep Wanya Thomas, who has been a revelation during practices and brings valuable depth in case of injuries. With Dan Quinn gone, the new defensive staff has maintained a lot of his multi-look concepts, and this safety group thrives in that environment. Special teams gets a brief but important mention. Brandon Aubrey returns as the kicker after a surprisingly consistent rookie year, while Brian Anger continues to be one of the NFL's most dependable punters. At long snapper, Trent Sieg holds onto the job with no real challengers emerging. KaVontae Turpin remains the team's top return option, though Ryan Flournoy could steal some return reps if Turpin becomes more integrated into the offensive game plan. So, to recap, here's how the updated 53-man roster looks coming out of minicamp: 3 quarterbacks with Dak, Rush, and Lance, 4 running backs led by Rico, Dowdle, and rookies Henderson and Peat, 6 wide receivers including Lamb, Cooks, Tolbert, Turpin, Flournoy, and Brooks, 3 tight ends in Ferguson, Schoonmaker, and Hendershot, 9 offensive linemen with Tyler Smith, Martin, Steele, Hoffman, base, and depth from Richards, Waletzko, Lindstrom, and Edoga. On defense, they're projected to keep 10 defensive linemen, 6 linebackers, and 10 defensive backs, with the last few spots highly fluid depending on special teams' performance and injury risk. What's clear after this minicamp is that the Cowboys are building a roster with both high-end talent and competitive depth. The coaching staff is looking for versatility, toughness, and players who can contribute on special teams. This isn't just about stars, it's about constructing a 53-man unit that can weather the grind of an NFL season and compete at the highest level. And while there's still a long way to go until final cuts are made, this projection gives us the most up-to-date and realistic look at how this team is taking shape heading into training camp. So, Cowboys fans, now it's your turn. Who do you think is a lock to make the 53-man roster? Who are your surprise cuts or dark horse candidates to watch? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the updated roster projections, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any future updates as we march toward the 2025 NFL season. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.